Um, Ananda is the word, if you know Sanskrit or any language that is inspired by Sanskrit, Ananda means bliss, it means joy. And Anandamide is basically a neurotransmitter in our bodies, in our brains. It's already there in our bodies. We don't need to take ganja to feel it. It's a function in our bodies that helps us feel certain emotions, certain blissful emotions.
Like,
So
is it close to endorphins?
it's not exactly the same as endorphins, but it is similar in its description. It's similar. I mean, for example, the way I've described it in my book is, I'm a runner. I like to run long distances, and that feeling you get, the runner's high, that is your Anandamide acting up. The feeling you have after an orgasm, that is the Ananda happening, and it's natural. Your body's producing it. You're not taking this out of any outside external substances. Now, cannabis in its compound has this. The major compound in cannabis is called THC, and THC is the stuff that famously gets people high.
Yeah, tetrahydrocannabinol.
Yes,
cannabinol. Yeah.
yes. I'm glad you said it, so I didn't have to say it.
Mess up the, yeah.
So the THC का जो chemical structure है, it is almost the same as the chemical structure of anandamide, which is already in our bodies.
Yeah. Isn't that why we say we have endocannabinoid receptors in our body already?
Yes. Yeah. So these are already in our body. The receptors are there to receive.
Yeah.
And what THC does is it mimics. वो नाटक करके it's like plays a duplicate double role, and when there's not enough anandamide in us, or when we don't need anandamide, it gives us a false sense of anandamide.
Right.
And so it basically gives us that feeling of the runner's high or the orgasmic high, or any, if anyone who has been high on ganja or any form of marijuana will say, it's basically fabricating this high, which our body is already ready for.
Right.
So this is where the word ananda comes from, because for me it was just such a beautiful term that at the end of the day the feeling of that high is just bliss and a joy. It's not this khatarnak, dangerous thing that often it's built upon to be. It's a blissful feeling at its very core. अब इसके आगे वाले जो है वो we'll get into that, but at its very core it is an ananda which I wanted to seek.
Yeah, and it's a very long, very interesting book. I could get through about 300 pages. Then the time for this podcast came, so I haven't got to the last of it. I would love for the people who are watching this to read this. Let me start by being honest.